Hey lads, time to learn some new moves today. We're going to be looking at the divisibility rule.
Gents, today we're going to look at divisibility, and divisibility just means that a number can fit in evenly into any other whole number. It means that there's no remainders or there's nothing left over. So today we're going to look at some rules or some ways that we can try to work out easily whether or not a number like a 2, 3, 4, 5, a 9 or a 10 can easily fit into another number with none left over. I'm going to start off with the easy ones, 2, 5 and 10. If we look at 2 first, we can find that if you know your even numbers, and your even numbers are obviously numbers ending in 0, 2, 4, 6 and 8, those will always be divisible by 2. So a number like 144 ends in a 4. Because it ends in a 4, it must be divisible by 2. If I look at 5s, we know that all numbers that are divisible by 5 must end in a 0 or a 5. So if we look at the number 1375, the last number is a 5, so it must be divisible by 5. And the last one is 10. And we know that when we're doing our counting by tens, we go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All of those finish in a 0. So we know that any number that we get, even if it is 2,313,140, we know that the last number is 0, so it must end in a 10. If we now look at some of the more harder ones, we can look at our 3s. Now our 3s, we need to add up all of the digits. Now another word for add up is the sum of the digits. And if they add up to a number that is divisible by 3, that 3 can fit into, then we can actually say the whole number is divisible by 3. I'm going to give you an example of this. If the number is 312, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 3 numbers together. I'm going to add 3 and 1 and 2. So if I go 3 plus 1 plus 2 is equal to 6. Does 3 fit into 6? Yes, it does. I know 3 fits into 6 twice, so it must be divisible by 3. So I know that 312 is divisible by 3. Another example of this is something like this one. 1,515. If I added up all of these numbers, I get 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 5 is 12. Does 3 fit into 12? Yes, it does. So I can say straight away then that 1,515 is also divisible by 3. If I look at my 4s now, what I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at the final 2 digits of my number. And if the final 2 digits of my number are divisible by 4, then the number is divisible by 4. Now, a really easy way that I can look at this is I can say to myself, are they even? Because if they are not an even number, if it is not even, it cannot be divisible by 4. So if I go to 3,137,132, first thing I'm going to say is it even? Well, I know it's even number. It ends in a 2. Then I'm going to look at the last 2 digits, 32. And I'm going to say, does 4 fit into 32? So I can halve it, which is 16, and halve it again, which is 8. Tick. Yes, 4 can fit into 32. So this number must be divisible by 4. Another easier example of this is 104. I look at it. Is it even? Yes. Tick. Look at my last 2 digits, 0 and 4. So 4, does 4 fit into 4? Yes, it does. Tick. All right, we're going to move on now. And my last one that I'm going to look at today is I'm going to look at the 9s. 9s are very, very similar to the 3s. We are going to find the sum of the digits. So we're going to add up the digits. We're going to do exactly the same as before. But this time we're going to see if 9 fits into those numbers. So if I have 1,620 I'm going to add those numbers. So I'm going to add 1 plus 6 plus 2 plus 0. 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 2 is 9, plus 0. So I finish with 9. Does 9 fit into 9? Yes, it does. So I know that this number, tick, is divisible by 9. Let's try a different one. 1, 8, 0, 3, 1, 5. So 180,315. First thing I do is add them up. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 0 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13, plus 5 is 18. So my sum of my numbers is 18. Does 9 fit into 18? Tick, it does. And I know that that large number there is divisible by 9. Let's have a quick look now at an example. I've put down the bottom here for you a divisibility chart, just like I had with the rules on it, so that you are able to use it to try and work these out. I want you to stop the video now if you can and have a go at this one for me. I'll then come back and I'll show you the answers and we'll see if we get them right. Good luck, gents. Thanks, gents. Hopefully that wasn't too hard. Let's have a quick look at this and let's start with the 2's. Now we know again, if the number ends in a 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, then it must be divisible by 2. So the number is 1,440. Let's have a look at the last number. It ends in a 0. Yes, it is an even number, so I know that 2 is definitely divisible. If I go to my 3's now, I know with my 3 times tables, 3 divisibilities, I'm going to add up all the digits. Let's add them up. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 0 is 9, so they add up to 9. Does 3 fit into 9? Yes, it does, 3 times. So we can then say it's divisible by 3. Let's go to 4's now. So once again with 4's, remember, we need to see, is it even? Yes. Look at the last 2 digits. I have 40. Does 4 fit into 40? Yes, it does, 10 times. That's awesome. We can say yes. Let's go to 5 times now. Our divisibility of 5 must end in 0 or 5. Yes, it ends in a 0. Excellent. If I go to my 9 times, I'm going to add up all my digits again. I know it equals 9. Does 9 fit into 9? Yes, it does. And you know with 10 times tables that it always ends in a 0. So divisibility rule is if it ends in a 0, it must be divisible by 10. I'm going to say yes again. So if you had yes for all of those answers, you have got them correct. Gents, we're going to be doing this on Wednesday. If you have any questions, please come write them into your diary and come armed with them and get yourself involved in any masterclass or top-up sessions being run to make sure that you understand this by the end of the week. Good luck, gents.